Yay! 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 Yay!
Yay!
Yay. How are you, man?
I faded it out. I tricked you.
I was waiting for it.
I faded it out early.
So I've got a pet peeve today.
Oh no! Go.
I've been wanting to talk to you about this for a while.
Uh oh.
It started with me a couple of years ago as a pet peeve.
Uh-huh.
And it's something that is now something that you are a pet peeve about.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Like I am one of your pet peeves, or
No,
I am.
you do something that's a pet peeve, and it's not because you're to fault for it,
Okay.
but you are.
My flatulence.
Now, your flatulence will get to you later.
You love my flatulence.
Can't stand it.
Oh no! Everyone loves the smell of their own, and you love the smell of mine.
I do not. But we can get to that later if you'd like.
Dude, should we? I don't think we should. Continue.
know.
Please continue.
I don't know, but everyone does love their own brand. Anyway, but as far as my pet peeve goes, it's smart watches.
Okay.
Because when you're talking to someone and they get a text or whatever it is, they'll look at you, they're talking to you, then the next thing you know, they're looking at their watch. Which, old school philosophy, that's like someone's looking at their watch while they're talking to you, like, what, I'm not worth your time right now?
Sure, yeah.
But now it translates to, I'm looking at my phone instead of talking to you.
Right.
I'm in the middle of a conversation.
Equally as rude.
And you're looking at your watch. It's rude.
Yeah.
I have an issue with smartwatches for that reason alone.
Okay.
You do it all the time. You'll be in the middle of
when we're playing video game or something, I
whatever
can
it
look
is.
at my watch or look at my phone. That's fine.
You can look at your phone
It's
whenever
not
you
my
want.
at bat. I'm looking at my watch.
It just looks like a rude thing to do. Like, what time is it now? He's not going to be here. It just becomes a rude gesture. I experienced that before you with someone else I used to work with, and you're doing it now to me just to make me.
Well, I need to see how long the show's going. This is a valid.
We
I'm looking
just
at my,
started the show.
2 minutes in, and I'm just checking my watch, and here we are.
I used to work with someone who did that, and was in the middle of talking to you. Like, wait a minute, we're talking here. This is work. Your text message can wait.
Yeah.
It's just rude, and it looks even ruder when you're looking at your watch. Like, okay, yeah, you're talking to me, but I'm not paying attention to you. I'm looking at my phone instead.
Is it more rude if I took my phone out?
Equally rude, but people are used to that. Like, they won't pull their phone out and while they get a text message while they're talking to you, because it's considered rude.
Does it bother you more if I take my phone out and start looking at my phone?
You're better than that. You wouldn't do that in the middle of a conversation.
No, that's not the question. That's not the question.
It would bother me. It bothers me more with the watch.
So if we're talking and all of a sudden I'm just like, I gotta check my phone.
Looking at your watch.
No, my phone.
Your
phone. If we're having a conversation, what bothers you more?
The watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll start reading my phone.
No, hey, I'm not saying you're not allowed to do what you want to do.
Sure.
You do what you want, but I think it's rude, and it happens a lot with people looking at their watch.
Okay.
Because it looks like you're looking at the time too. Like, I'm talking to you. Like, how long is this conversation take?
Well, I get that point. I get that.
And I know it's not intentionally being rude, but you're like, this thing just went off, and you're going to look at what it is because it's on your wrist.
Yeah.
You're going to be like, oh, what is that?
Well, because the thing is, right? You keep your phone on at all times, right?
Yeah.
Just in case an emergency message comes in from your parents,
things,
right? Yeah. At the same token, right now, my 2 kids are with a babysitter.
Right? No, I get it.
I will check every message that comes in to see if it's
I'm not saying you
one.
shouldn't.
Yeah.
But how often does it happen when you're in the middle of talking to me and you're like, watch?
Well, so when we were playing our last game here, okay, and you saw me on my watch, I booked a hotel. Because my wife she said, can you book me a hotel? Because she has to work a late night in the city and then an early morning.
You shouldn't.
So I booked a hotel.
I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. I'm just saying
Mo, from my watch. Come on. I mean, come on. Come on. That's cool.
It's kind of cool.
It's kind of cool.
Let's kind of cool.
Be fair.
But I'm just saying, if you think about it, it's a rude thing to do when you're having a conversation, and people do it all the time.
Okay.
And it comes across that much more rude on a watch. Because you're always people looking at the time.
Yeah.
So that
I get that.
How rude is that? How rude?
I get that. Yeah.
So anyway, that's been bugging me for a long time to bring that up, and I for like 4 shows I've wanted to mention that, and I have not.
So something rude happened recently in sports. So while we're talking about being rude, or maybe being dishonorable, or whatever you want to call it, I don't know. There was at the end of the NFL football season, right? All of the Giants fans are rooting for the Eagles to win, to make it into the playoffs, right? The coach of the Eagles is like, you know what? I'm going to put in my 3rd string guy and basically piss away any chance of us winning, thereby keeping the Giants out of the playoffs.
Right.
And getting a better draft pick for themselves.
Which is strategy.
So, okay, I've been having this argument with people on Facebook and Twitter, and they're all like, no, this is football. You don't do that in football. And I'm just like, those players, everyone who was out there was trying to win. The players, they have that code of conduct, right?
Of course.
The front office and the coaching staff, there's no code of conduct. Whatever helps them long-term win a Super Bowl.
Yes and no. Yeah, I agree with that.
Was that breaking an unwritten rule?
No.
What they did?
No.
Okay, so we're on the same page here.
But there is a code of conduct. I would disagree with that piece. There is a code of conduct amongst coaches, like pushing
but it's broken. It's always broken.
But pushing for an extra touchdown when you're up by 30, that's code of conduct.
That's a little bit different, though.
But you're saying there's no code of conduct for the coaches. You're still calling the play. If you're calling that play in, that you want to go for a long 30-yard gain.
No, but what I'm saying here is in this situation, even though the third-string quarterback came in, that third-string quarterback was like, I'm going to play my hardest now.
You are 100% right.
And the linemen were like, I'm going to protect this guy. And the wide receivers were, I'm going to catch this football.
Play your game with whoever's out there.
But the coach was maybe just like, we could get 4 or 5 draft spots by not winning them?
Yeah, that's strategy. I have no issue with that.
And what about all the people who are like, oh, this is football. Football's different. Because I referenced, I was just like, Mexico tanked a game to keep the United States out of the World Cup a few years ago. The Yankees tanked an entire series, a 4-game set, to keep the Red Sox from winning the best record in baseball, thereby getting home.
And this is where rivalries come from.
It happens in all sports, and it happens especially in rivalry. Actually, I didn't even think about that. Those were rivalries that I just mentioned.
Absolutely.
You want to keep your No, this is football. Football's different. No. I say no, it's not.
It's not at all.
I say it's not. There you go.
Did you see the Pitt game, the post game for the Pitt game, where the coach blew off the other
the handshake. Or I mean, it was kind of a he stuck his hand out like and
then pulled it away quickly.
Yeah, and
didn't even make eye contact with the handshake.
Oh, my favorite part is that the coach, I think it was I thought it was like West Virginia or something, but whatever it is,
Georgia,
the coach, Georgia Tech, whatever. The coach starts yelling at the sheriff, like he didn't shake my hand, and the sheriff's just like, what do you want me to do about it?
Threw his hands up, man. It was hysterical.
I get it in the heat of the moment, like Tom Brady has done it before.
I don't get it in the heat of the moment. It's still poor sportsmanship, and it's something that you've introduced to me in soccer.
Yeah,
that soccer always puts sportsmanship above anything else.
Yes.
And
that's why I love the end of hockey. The end of every hockey playoff series, no matter win, lose, anything. The hockey they all line up. They shake hands. They get it. That's an unwritten, but that's also a tradition. That's a whole different thing.
It is, absolutely.
The post-game handshake, it's like you give the handshake. He play devil's advocate. He went up there. They touched hands.
He pulled his hand away.
It was a weak handshake.
Look, it was a weak handshake. First off, we touched on this in the first show or second show.
Ooh, throwback.
The throwback. Do you have a little throwback?
Throwback.
All right, hold on.
What you want?
Yeah, I want the throwback music that you put on for yourself.
I was going to. Isn't that what you wanted? If I put on the throwback music, I have to go back and actually find the clip.
You got to edit that.
That's how it works, and that's not what we want to do.
All right, so when you shake a man's hand, you look him in the eye and you shake his hand.
Oh, yeah.
When you slap your hand out there and pull it away while you're looking away the entire time, you're not a man for that. Sorry. You can. I'm not saying you can't recover from it. I'm not saying that everyone's perfect and everyone's going to make the right decision in the moment. I have walked off the softball field without shaking the other team's hand.
Yeah, you didn't even let us take a team picture this last year. We lost the championship game. We're not taking.
You don't take a picture for second place. You take a picture for when you win.
I mean,
that's what that's for. You could have. You guys could have pushed me back on it.
We have a lot of team pictures from very bad teams.
We have some really good teams that we took pictures of too. And we just took.
Yeah, you take a picture of every team. That's the thing. You remember the year.
Then you guys could have said, "Hey, get over here for a picture," and I would have walked over. I said we didn't win.
No, you wouldn't. You were storming away.
Old Mo would have stormed away.
You did storm away.
No,
Old Mo like 5 months ago stormed away.
I was over putting my glove in my bag. It's not like I couldn't come back for it.
I was not happy. Hey, do you guys want a picture? No.
But that's not the sportsmanship we're talking about. I was saying I've walked off the field after a game where the other team I felt disrespectful to me, and I gave them the disrespect back.
Yeah,
it was the wrong thing to do. Yeah. I should have still shaken their hand. Hey, good game. Even if it wasn't a good game, you do that. You go through that motion.
Absolutely.
But I'm not going to do. I don't do that anymore. Yeah. I did that when I was younger, Mo, when I was ultra competitive.
Yeah.
And we were, B division, and teams were slapping us around. And we were a good team, but we had a bad day, or someone did something stupid, or someone really got under my skin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which happens.
I'm not shaking your hand.
You're easily flustered sometimes on the softball on the mound.
Not as much as I used to.
What do you mean not really?
No,
there are some things that get you.
It's much different than it used to be, and I'll explain this really quickly.
Okay.
Sometimes now, I will play the fired up card because I will play them back. I'm playing their game back in their head.
Okay.
And I will play that game as if I'm fired up and ticked off, and I'll walk over, and there's plenty of guys on the team I've walked over into and gone, I'm fine, man. Don't worry. I'm not. I'm not steamed up. I'm just playing a little game here. So you got to play that head game once in a while with certain people, especially when you get the young guys who don't know how to respect the game yet.
I get the other team is up by 15 runs and they're pushing runs across the plate. Like, I understand. That gets you really pissed off. There's no faking that.
I used to, when a guy hit a home run, or a guy was pushing, a guy hit a long ball. This is like last year. Not this year, last year. They were up like 15 runs. They have a young kid hits a ball in the gap.
I remember this, yes.
And I ran out to him as he came around first, going to second. I ran with him from second base around to third, going, run harder. You're only up 15. This is Rec League New Milford, the lowest division.
Yeah.
And I ended up having a conversation with the manager of that team between innings. And he
his father? Was it his father?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I said, you teach him properly now.
That's right.
Or we'll teach him our way.
What, beating him with a slow pitch?
No, I'll go out and trip him. I'll go out and run into him. I've done that before, too. So, look, if
I would pay to see that.
That is respect
I would pay
of
to
the
see
game.
that.
That is respect of the game. If you're not going to respect the game, I'm not going to respect you.
Ooh. There you go. Okay. There you go.
Very simple.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right.
But I've done the chase guys around the bags multiple times. I've done that over the years so many times where a guy is so amped up running around first, wants a triple.
Yeah.
Dude, you're crushing us. You should be going bag to bag. We do that. When we're up 15, 20 runs, we go bag to bag. I have guys on our own team who don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Who will fight me on that.
No, I was you yelled. I'm not gonna put anyone's name out there, but you like literally went out and yelled and threatened to pull one of our own guys from a game. Now, granted, it was one of the rare occasions that we were actually up enough to to take our feet off the gas,
sure.
right? Yeah, you don't do it. There's a respect factor.
There is, and when I'm yelling at somebody on our own team, I'm more mad at myself for not making sure they knew that before we got going.
Sure,
or knew that before they're at bat.
The unwritten rules of life in general are very holy to you. There are a lot of unwritten rules. Now you didn't again, throwing back to another episode, the one time when I talked about if you're on a New York City escalator and there's a pregnant woman standing on the left side, you tell her to get over, pregnant or not. That left side is for walking. Like, that was an unwritten rule you didn't seem to agree with.
I'm never gonna argue with a pregnant woman, but
because of the hormones? Is it because of the hormones?
No, it's a respect for the pregnant woman.
Or is it because you think you got a chance because you know she puts out?
Oh, wow. Didn't think we were going there. So no, but you get the crowd on that one too.
I think the crowd enjoyed that one. I sure did.
So no, it's respect for the individual. I wouldn't do that. But if someone's being a jerk and standing there and people are trying to walk by, you say something. But that's an unwritten rule. I agree. And yes, respect is the basis of those unwritten rules. Mm-hmm. And if people haven't been taught them, I think you're obligated to teach them the unwritten rules
of life.
Yeah,
of life in general.
Well, look, like I'm going back into session, right? There's rules of how you speak and how you approach people in the House of Representatives.
Right.
You speak a certain way.
God, we need to get you a powdered wig. How did I just think of this? Would you wear, if I bought you a powdered wig, would you wear it into the chamber?
We're not in England, bud. No.
Into the legislature?
No.
Well, they did that in the United States.
Not for a long time. That was taken away a long time ago. They still do it over there.
But I know, but they did it at some point in time.
Of course they did. But no.
Likely in Hartford.
Maybe my last day in the chamber, I would run full attire.
What about Halloween?
Colonial gear.
Okay, do this. All right. If there happens to be like an emergency session on Halloween, right now, make the promise you will dress up as like George Washington, powdered wig and all.
Deal.
Nice. Let's go. I'm going to start emailing the governor's office right now, and there better be a special session on October 31st.
I sure hope not. Anyway, there are unwritten rules of how you speak in there.
Yes.
That have to be taught to freshmen. You don't talk directly to another representative. You always speak through the speaker.
You look at their forehead.
I did that to you. You were so confused yesterday.
I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know what was happening.
It's a great Dwight thing. No, when you're talking to someone in the chamber, you
Mr.
speak
Speaker.
Through you, Mr. Speaker, I have a question for the good representative from wherever they are.
Uh-huh.
And you ask permission, basically.
What if they're a bad representative? You still have to call him the good representative?
Call him the good representative or the representative. You can say the representative. I have a question for the committee chair. For whatever it is, for someone you can call them by their title as far as that goes. That's allowed as well.
I have a question for the heinous representative from Manchester.
Oh, that doesn't happen because it's
no offense to who's from Manchester. I don't know.
Always respect first.
Right?
It's always respect to the individual within the chamber first before anything else, even if you wholeheartedly disagree with them.
Okay.
It's always respect.
I'll take that.
And I think that's something that has to be taught. And I can honestly say there's some people that were brought in the last couple of years who don't know that respect.
Well, and they still don't do it?
No.
Oh.
But then
do we need to do I need to call them?
No.
Do I need to write a letter to the editor?
It is the job of the leadership of their party to teach them, to make sure they're taught.
I see.
And sometimes they're not, but I'm a stickler for respect. Yes, you should know that about me from the start.
You are a stickler for the respect. Yep, you absolutely are. Voicemail?
Sure.
You want to get to voicemail, or do you want to keep talking about old man things?
I would love to get to voicemail.
Keep talking about old man things.
Why is it old man things? Respect is not old men. Respect is being a human.
No, powdered wigs and baseball. Those are all old wigs. We didn't talk much about baseball. But
let's go to the call.
Softball. It's an old man sport. It's an old man sport. Old men can play it. I had an old man moment like last week.
What'd you do?
We're sitting on the couch, and all of a sudden, I feel something tugging. I turn in. Lori's like, "You got a really long ear hair."
Oh,
I was like, "Oh no,
that happens.
That's the first time.
That happens overnight. No, that happens overnight.
What is with the one hair that grows 10 inches overnight?
Yeah, it's crazy.
There's always one. Like I had one a few weeks ago on my eyebrow, and it was just like. I was just like, and I couldn't get it out of my peripheral vision. I'm just like, what the hell? And that one though, it was like 3 times as thick and just jet black. Like what is with like the random just rogue hair?
You remember City Slickers where he makes that comment. It's his 40th birthday. He's like, I'm growing. I'm losing hair where I want hair, and I'm growing hair where I don't need hair.
It's funny you mentioned City Slickers. I literally watched that within the last 48 hours.
Wow,
that was going to be my recommendation today. I was going to say go back and watch some old because Lori and we love to go back and just watch late 80s to early 90s comedies.
Great.
And Billy Crystal was fantastic in that one.
Billy Crystal was amazing in general. I still love Billy Crystal. He's probably top 5 of my favorite.
Really?
Comics that are out there. I love Billy Crystal.
Really?
Yeah, huge baseball fan too.
Well, I mean, he had an apt bat at Yankee Spring Training.
Yeah.
That big of a baseball fan, but it's so weird. He's such a big Yankee fan, yet in City Slickers, what hat is he wearing?
Wearing a Mets hat.
What the heck is that?
Yeah.
What is that all about?
He had to be more of an underdog in that movie.
So would you do that if they were like, we're going to cast you in this movie, but you have to wear a St. Louis Cardinals baseball hat and a Packers jersey, and you have to like be Aaron Rodgers' best friend?
Are they going to pay me as much as they paid Billy Crystal to do that movie?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay. So what is your
actor?
What's your limit?
Acting!
What's your limit?
I don't know. Nudity?
So you wouldn't do a nude scene, but you would totally...
Nobody wants that.
All right. So, well, I mean, there are people out there with some disgusting Santa fetishes that I'm sure could... would take a ride on the old sleigh, if you know what I mean.
That was a little, obvious what you meant there, yeah.
Give him the old red nose.
Are you done? Let's go to the call.
All right.
Hey guys, it's Liz. I've had a couple of roommates over the years, and I was wondering if you guys had any roommate stories, good or bad, or were you a good roommate or possibly the bad roommate? Just thought it'd be interesting to hear what you guys had to say. Love ya. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy
Liz.
New Year. I'm a great roommate, with the exception of the dishes. I'm not the dish. I'm very. So here's the problem, right? I cook. I cook all the time.
Yeah, sure.
And I consider myself quite a decent cook.
Yes, you do.
In order to achieve the greatness in the culinary atmosphere within my house, I got to use a lot of pots and pans.
Sure.
I make way more of a mess than I probably should because I'm just like, oh man, I need I need to take out this mug and melt the butter in this mug and then do this and over there and do this, and it's just like before you know it, the entire sink is just full. I'm the bad dish roommate.
You're a messy person sometimes in general.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when you did the couple of Halloweens ago, you went as me. And you showed up in town with a fake beard and the Buckby shirt and the whole thing. It was great. It was really funny. But I remember talking to your wife going, yeah, he spent an hour and a half powdering the wig in the bathroom.
This is the theme of the day.
A stinking mess.
The theme of the day.
Yeah.
Powdered. You got to powder. I'm telling you, dude, the powdered wig would look so great. You gotta do it.
Yeah, we'll see.
You gotta do it. What about just for Halloween in general? Can you just be George Washington for Halloween this year?
I'd have to shave the beard, and I'm not doing that.
Okay.
George Washington with a beard doesn't work.
Who back then had a beard?
Ulysses S. Grant.
Yeah, but he didn't have a powdered wig.
No.
Was there anyone
it's
back?
It's odd because there were a lot of beards back then, but the founding fathers really were clean shaven.
But not like this.
No.
We got to find that out. Someone had a beard.
We'll do a little research.
Yeah, it's going to be like the most just random person.
I would love to go.
Tecumseh Jefferson of.
I would love to go as Roger Sherman.
Yeah,
that would make sense.
You got to shave the beard.
He sat in my chair. How awesome is that?
You got to shave the beard.
He sat in my seat, but I'm not shaving the beard.
Yeah, well then, yeah.
It'd have to be.
Didn't fill out the seat as well as you though.
But did a whole heck of a lot more than I've done.
True. Bad roommate, good roommate. What do you now? I've talked to several of your roommates.
You know a lot of my.
I know a lot of your roommates.
Yeah, they didn't love me as a roommate.
Some did.
Some loved me as a roommate.
Some didn't mind you.
I cooked very well.
Yeah.
Stump and Jeff both enjoyed me as a roommate. I was a good roommate to them.
Mm-hmm.
When it got to another couple, that we don't need to name who they are.
Well, when a woman was introduced into the equation,
I wasn't as clean as she'd hoped for. I'm a bachelor.
Inside and out.
Maybe. But I'm a bachelor, and look, I was very careful. The bathroom, I always made sure I kept a thing of matches in there because I didn't want to blow up a bathroom.
It was one bathroom?
Yeah.
And there were three of you?
Yeah.
That was this one right over this way?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, okay.
Right down the road, yeah.
That's a shame.
And I always made sure that I cleaned up after I would use the bathroom. I made sure there weren't like puddles by the toilet or anything because guys tend to do that sometimes. That happens, let's be honest.
What puddles?
Well, when the guy stands up to pee, sometimes a guy misses the bowl.
Really?
On occasion, it happens. You've been to how many bathrooms and seen a urinal with a pool underneath it you have to straddle and not get your shoelaces
It's one thing if it's in a bar bathroom, but in my own house? I don't think I'm missing in my own house.
I'm making sure. So when they were there, when she was there, I made sure that my toilet was clean. That I was very big on that.
Dishes?
I didn't want her to be.
How were the dishes?
Dishes were okay.
Okay.
I brought in a portable dishwasher. That we moved in there. That worked out really well. I was pretty good about that.
No mice.
No mice at all.
You don't like mice.
Oh, I hate mice.
Oh, we should talk about mice next.
Let's not talk about mice.
Okay.
So I hate mice so much. So.
It's like I love the analogy. The only analogy I have to your hatred of my it's you know how like the biggest elephant in the world is afraid of the littlest mouse in the world? That's Mo. That's Mo.
I'm not afraid of. I just don't like them. I think they're filthy. And they give me goosebumps when I see one. I'm like, if I see one outside, I've seen them in the park. I've seen them running through the grass.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me at all. They're in their own home. When they're in my home, we have an issue.
So mouse or rat?
I would rather deal with a rat.
You'd rather deal, but rats they're grosser and they're bigger.
They're easier to catch.
But they're bigger and they're filthier.
They're all filthy. I mean, you're putting two worse scenarios next to each other. I'm going to go. I don't like mice. Mice.
What about a bat?
Really bother me. I've dealt with bats.
But they're flying mice.
I know. I've dealt with them. I don't have a problem.
And you're okay with them?
Yeah, I'm fine with them.
But they sleep upside down, and then when they poop on themselves while sleeping, it dribbles down them.
Doesn't bother me. What bothers me is when in my kitchen I find mouse poop on my stove. That bothers me. That means you son of a gun, you were here and you left me a little trail to let me know you were here.
Let's see. That's how I'm gonna like next time instead of like leaving a note on your door, like, "Hey, Myke was here." I'm just gonna take a shit on your doorstep and be like, and then I'll spell my name in it with a stick.
That would be. I was gonna say that would be talent if you could do that. But no, the other day I cleaned my full kitchen outside a mouse problem this year, and they seem to have gone away. And I did a full deep clean of the counters and everything in my kitchen.
Yep.
Wiped everything down.
Yep.
I felt so good about it. And the next day I came in and there were 3 drops on the stove. And I'm like, you son of a gun. So I reset the traps and nothing yet. That drives me nuts.
So there's somewhere.
So as far as roommates, I've had some good roommates. I've had some tough roommates. The other thing is that the couple moved in.
Yep.
I'm a very social person when I'm at home.
Yep.
Right? I'm not a social person right now. Like I live by myself.
No, not anymore. I was going to say now you're in hermit mode.
I am a hermit.
You're a hermit. No one goes into your house.
No one goes into my house.
Yeah. I've been in there a couple times.
When they were there, they didn't come out and be social.
So like if you had friends over and you're playing darts in the backyard, which we would do.
We did.
And they would
stay in their bedroom.
Interesting.
Yeah, they never came out to watch TV with me.
Bedroom.
They had everything set. They lived really out of their bedroom and the kitchen and the bathroom.
Interesting.
They didn't use the living room at all. They didn't use. So it was like, this is awkward. It was like you bump into somebody in the hall and it's like, oh hi. Okay, see you later. Like there was no They would prepare food and bring it into the bedroom and eat in their bedroom. They wouldn't eat in the kitchen. They
Weird. Okay.
Yeah. And we had a huge kitchen in that house.
Yeah. Oh, that was a big kitchen.
Massive kitchen.
The only thing I remember about that kitchen is one time we ordered Chinese food and we didn't have any utensils for some reason. In your own house, there were no utensils to be found.
Weird.
So we were just eating General Tso's chicken with our fingers.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't recall that.
We were not sober. There probably were a lot of forks. I was
looking in the wrong drawer.
Just couldn't find them. Yeah. No.
Yeah,
you were so drunk you forgot exactly which drawer you kept your own silverware in. That would happen back then.
That kitchen didn't have a table to eat at. It had a bar and bar stools.
It sure did.
And it was huge. So we just plenty of room for a table with it.
Yeah, we just stood.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I've had some really good roommates. My roommate in college, first roommate.
Yeah.
Aside from me, I love when people are like, "Yeah, my roommate's like, don't you live at home with your parents?" My roommates. So my first roommate in college, he and I. This is really kind of a funny story.
Oh, do tell.
We when I decided we were going to college, they sent you, here's your roommate's name and phone number. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, we can touch base beforehand. Like, hey, do you have a microwave? I have a microwave. We only need one.
Yep.
And so I get him on the phone, and his name, and I don't know if he'll ever listen to the show, and I hope he does. His name is Aaron Elstro.
Aaron, welcome to the show. Welcome to The Bar Is Low.
We called him Shaggy. Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
We called him Shaggy. He had long blonde hair.
Should we call him?
People thought we were brothers. They actually thought we looked enough alike. He was far thinner, though. And I was thinner at the time anyway.
Okay.
So I call him for the first time. He's from Ohio. And I reach out to him, and I'm like, so like fridge? He's like, I have a fridge. I'm like, cool, because I don't. I'm like, I have a microwave. He's like, cool, because I don't. Mm-hmm. So we're getting along great. I'm like, all right, so we're talking about different stuff. So how about music? Mm-hmm. And he goes, I'm really just classical. I'm like,
interesting.
Classic 70s, classic 80s, what? He's
Mozart, Beethoven.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was like, oh, well, that'll be interesting. Okay. And I wasn't into that at the time. Now I do. Now I listen to it at work all the time.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
And then
I'm more of a Baroque guy myself.
Well, if it's not Baroque, don't fix it.
Very nice.
Nothing on that one? Okay, I thought I'd get a cheer for that.
I pressed a button, but the fader was down, so sorry.
So I said, okay, so what do you do for fun? Like,
I
said, so what do you do for fun, man? What'd you do?
Nothing.
Okay.
We're good.
So I said, what do you do for fun? Like, do you go out? Do you not? And he goes, actually, I'm a chess player, and I really spend a lot of time. Sometimes I'll play chess by myself, against myself. I tend to be fairly quiet that way, and I was like, wow, okay, this will be an adjustment for a roommate.
Wait. But you have a fridge.
You have a fridge.
Okay.
And then he starts cracking up. I'm like, what are you laughing
He's
about? He's like, totally messing with you. I'm all headbanging heavy metal. He's like, we're going to go out. We're going to have a good time. I'm like, oh, thank God. Messed with me on day one.
That's great.
We were excellent roommates. We were phenomenal roommates. And he was a great guy. And he was actually a guy who had a high school scholarship his junior year to play football.
Ooh.
In Ohio. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember. It was a big school. I don't know if it was Ohio State, but it was a big school.
Youngstown State, probably.
Might have been,
maybe Dayton, University of Dayton. Was he a flyer? He could have been a flyer.
He was a full ride scholarship, and he got hurt senior year and lost the scholarship.
Oh, that sucks.
But he introduced me to football. Like, I knew football. I watched football on TV growing up, but I never wanted to play. I never had much desire to.
You didn't play in high school?
My mother wouldn't allow me to.
Oh.
You're going to get hurt if you play football.
Well,
I'm like, meanwhile, I'm like one of the biggest kids in the school.
I was going to say.
I was lifting at the time. I threw shot put and discus for the football coach. He was always on me to play football.
I'm sure, yeah.
But I was like, I'm not allowed to play.
No wonder Green Wave sucked and continued to suck.
I mean, I would have been a dominant lineman in football. So, so I remember he brought me out to the soccer field. In Indiana, we didn't have a football program.
The football pitch.
Well, it was a field. Yes. So we bring me out there, and Indiana Tech had a pretty good soccer program.
Okay.
And he brings me out there, and nobody was on there. It was Sunday morning, and he gathered some guys from the dorm, and we went out and played football. Now, we had 20 guys.
Ooh.
So we played 10 on 10.
Yep.
Full on, full tackle.
Love it.
Like, we went nuts.
Love it.
And the guy on my team I ended up being good friends with had the best name of anyone I've ever known. His name was Antonio Toledo.
Antonio Toledo.
Wherever he may be this day.
Probably in Toledo.
He only played he was from Buffalo. He only was in school with us for, I think, a semester and a half.
Oh, wow.
No, and he got his call to go play for University of Buffalo because his grades were good enough to stay up, and he was going to have a chance. He went and played offensive line for University of Buffalo.
Oh, wow.
He was probably 6'4", 6'5", and about 340 as a freshman in college.
Dang.
Big boy.
Is he still alive?
Strong as Knox. I have no idea. I haven't heard from We nicknamed him. He was great name, and you give him a nickname. He was bigger than any meal, so we called him Brunch. So Brunch gets out there with me.
I love it.
And Brunch is teaching me how to be a lineman.
Okay.
I'm like, this is so much fun. So Brunch is the center.
Did you have pancakes for brunch?
We actually did.
See what I did? See what I did there? Yeah.
So we ran this
play. It's a football term in case you're listening to the show about comic books. That's a football term.
Batman. Okay, we got that in.
Oh.
So
what?
Okay, a little Christmas in
you
there
see
too.
the rails over there? Yeah, we're way off. We're over here. Yeah.
So we're playing football and we call a sweep. So a sweep, a pitch to the running back's going to run to the outside.
I know what a sweep is.
I'm for the people you were just saying.
Oh, for the nerds?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm the guard on the opposite side. I'm a pulling guard. He tells me, okay, after the snap,
yes,
you're just going to go run this way behind the line.
Yes.
And you're going to hit the first person you see.
Love it.
I love it. This is great. I come around the corner, and there's 2 linebackers running up at me, and I swear to God, I did a high cross body. I jumped in the air, and I was horizontal and took them both out.
Oh, that's great.
Running back goes around the corner, and Brunch is like, dude, you never played football? I'm like, no, that was just seemed like the right thing to do. I threw my body at him. So we played football every Sunday. All of us would go down there and just play football.
Yeah.
Nobody ever got hurt. I mean, we had monster hits. Monster hits were hitting people, smacking them around, nothing. Nobody ever gets hurt.
Yeah.
We go to our first game that we had of intramural ball. It was 6-on-6 flag football.
Everyone breaks everything.
2 broken legs, 1 broken jaw.
Wow.
The first week. And these are the same guys we've been playing with.
Wow.
But I was playing nose tackle. And they couldn't figure out how to stop the center. I'd line up over the center. As soon as they'd call for the ball, I'd watch the ball.
You just go.
I would pop him in the shoulders.
Yep.
And he would fall back. Always falling on his butt every time.
And then you got a clear line of the QB?
If the ball didn't come loose.
Oh, okay.
And the one team we're playing with against, I think they went through 3 centers. Couldn't stop me. Couldn't figure it out. Until finally one ducks through on a keeper. Off for a touchdown. Like 40-yard touchdown. Like all he did was touch the quarterback's hands, bring the ball back, and I was like, I just missed his shoulders as he ducked underneath me.
Yeah.
And
they figured you out.
They got me.
They figured it out. They figured it out.
So Aaron Elstro, great roommate, introduced me to football. Thank you so much for that, my friend.
Yeah.
Always grateful for that.
My first roommate, it was funny because it was the same situation. Like, here's the number. You call your guy.
Yeah.
North Carolina number. I'm like, I've never met anyone from the Carolinas. This will be interesting. And like, I'm expecting to hear like a Southern accent. Or,
really?
Well, I don't know. I don't know these things. In high school, what
do you know, right?
What do you know?
Yeah,
what do you know? Right. Teenagers are stupid.
Yeah.
So,
we agree a lot on this show.
Yeah, this is
on this
weird.
show we're agreeing a lot.
This is weird.
Yeah.
So, and I pick up the phone. Hey, what's going on? This is Myke, and he just comes on. Hey, this is Carrie. What's going on? I'm like, oh, hey, what's going on, dude?
Hi, I'm Myke.
Yeah, figured out what we're bringing, this and that. We did that whole spiel, and I was like, so what do you like? I like sports. Oh, I love sports too. Do you smoke? Yeah, we're gonna get high. This is gonna be great. Oh my god. All right, I'll see you soon. It was like a minute.
Wow.
Boom. It was a minute. I show up. I pull in to my dorm, and the dorms at my school were an old Hojo, Howard Johnson, that was converted.
No kidding.
This is amazing. Every single dorm room, private bathroom.
Right.
That you don't get that.
It's Howard Johnson.
You don't get that.
Mine was one down the hall.
And it was a big size room. It was great. So and there was a door to the room next door, so it was you could open it up and basically have a big party. And we unfortunately had the RA on the other side of that door. So we basically just insulated the door so he couldn't smell what was happening, if anything was smellable. But yeah, so I show up, it's an empty room. First thing I do, I'm like, all right, I got these t-shirts that say Yankees suck, Jeter swallows, Clemens sucks. I put them on the window outside. Within 5 minutes of being up, knock at the door. It's this guy, Jeff. Oh, I'm from Boston. Let's one of my best friends now. You know Jeff.
That's great.
Yeah, you know Jeff. So that's how we met. That's how Jeff and I met.
That's awesome.
Because I put those Yankees suck shirts in the window. And then they were like, you can't hang that out in the window. And I was just like, these rules are stupid. College is dumb. And then Carrie rolls in and I'm just like, this big old Crown Vic just rolls up, low rider stuff, and he pops in, and he's taller than you.
Yeah,
he's taller than you, but he probably weighs less than me.
Wow,
I'm talking toothpick.
Yeah,
like he was just this tall drink of water.
No kidding.
And he's the kind of guy who is like, he doesn't say much, but when he does, you listen because it's going to be hilarious. Played poker, smoked, watched Chappelle's show, whatever the hell you do.
Right.
Played video games. good times. I never understood why he's such a big Cleveland sports fan, but he is. But he's from North Carolina, Wilmington Island. Yeah, good times. I thought I was a good roommate. He was a good roommate. My next roommates were at a house. We had airsoft guns and would shoot each other with them all the time.
Nice.
I tased someone for their birthday.
Wow.
And that was a fun time. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That was. Yeah.
I want to add one other thing into that.
I think I was a good roommate.
I want to add one other thing into that freshman year.
Oh.
So dating myself a little bit when I.
Oh, is that legal in the state of Indiana?
Stop it.
It's like dating your cousin.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Who's your mother? So
private.
I walked out of I was there very early. And I was by myself. I was all set up. The bed's made. Everything is done.
Okay.
My mother and my brother had gone out with me, and we got it all set up.
Yep.
I come out of the hall. I'm waiting for my roommate to show up, and I walk down the hall. Next door over, there's a sophomore, right? Who's, hey, this guy's a lot older. He knows what's going on. And I see they're playing Tecmo Bowl. Right? So I'm like, Tecmo. I'm like, this is a great way for me to get to know these guys. I rock Tecmo.
Yeah. Do you know Bo? Do you guys know about Bo yet?
So I'm like, I can crush these guys. I crush everyone here.
Were you the Raiders?
So I said, I won't even take the Raiders. I'll take the 49ers.
Oh.
So I just beat you down with a team that I know I can crush you with.
Yeah, Montana.
He didn't take the Raiders either. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. Okay, cool.
Right.
No problem. He's not going to do it. Maybe he doesn't know about it. So, and again, my friends here, like our friend the Freak, who I played with a lot. I played a lot of video games with. I'm saying that better. Couldn't ever beat me, and my friends here couldn't touch me with Tecmo.
Yeah.
I walk in, I'm like, I'm going to beat these guys. They're going to have instant respect for the freshmen. Crushed me.
Oh.
I was like, wait, what? How did you... What? I had no clue what these guys were doing.
Never happened to you before.
Oh, and they just put me in my place.
Welcome to adult life.
I walked to the next room down, and there's a guy there who's probably 6'8" or 6'9". Big dude.
Playing Kirby's Adventure.
Sophomore, right? No. Sophomore. I'm just introducing myself. I'm getting to know everybody. So I talked to the guy for a couple minutes. I'm like, where are you from? He goes... Swear to God, I'm in Fort Wayne, Indiana. He goes, I'm from French Lick. And I go,
from French Lick?
You're from French Lick? Like Larry Bird, French Lick? He goes, yeah. Right? And I go, I'm assuming the size of you play ball. He goes, yeah, and before you ask, yeah, I played with him. I'm like, you've played with Larry Bird?
Wow.
He's like, yeah, I played rec league this past summer with his brother. We were playing it. He goes, actually, look at those shoes. I look over, and he had the Larry Bird Converse there that were like size 17. Wow. They were monster.
Yeah.
And I go, yeah, those are the best shoes ever. He goes, Larry gave them to me.
Those were Larry's shoes?
Oh, my wearing
God.
Them? He's like, Larry gave me the shoes. Like, the guy was a phenomenal ball player.
And he was that, like, docile?
Flunked out of school.
Oh, okay.
Totally docile as far as...
It doesn't sound like it was all up here.
No,
there was something missing.
But he was a hell of a ball player, and I went out. I tried to play basketball, because I was into basketball big then.
Yeah.
And I didn't make the high school team. I got cut. But again, I'm 6'3".
Yeah.
I'm like, feel like I'm a pretty big guy.
Yep.
This guy at 6'8", 6'9" was a small forward.
No.
I'm like, oh my God.
Welcome to adult. Yeah, welcome to college.
Indiana basketball.
Well, Indiana basketball, that's a whole
different level.
That's a whole different thing. Yeah. Oh, I play basketball in Connecticut. You sit down over there, ma'am.
Our starting point guard was 6'5".
Wow.
And they were like, well, they'd open tryouts. Like, if you want to come try out, you can try out. But I'm like, I'm a 3-man at best.
You wouldn't even make the water boy.
I've been a power forward. No, I wouldn't. These guys were that good. So
because you can't shoot like a guard.
Well, I can shoot okay. I was like a small forward. I can take that.
Yeah, but you're not making it rain from. Actually, wait. I'm sorry. Did 3-pointers exist back then?
Yes.
Okay.
I could shoot.
That's an honest question.
I was okay with
me,
them.
Like poking fun.
But I ended up losing a tremendous amount of weight my freshman year. I dropped 50 pounds.
Oh.
Because there was a girl.
Oh, see, I was going to say, what was your secret?
I ate lettuce every day and Diet Pepsi.
Wow.
And I dropped 50 pounds. I came home for Christmas. My mother didn't know who I was.
Wow.
Yeah, really was crazy. So after I got back, we're playing intramural ball. We had a brand new gym. It was amazing. Beautiful gym with a track up top.
All right.
And I go down there to play basketball, and I'm playing intramural league for my fraternity because I joined a fraternity.
Yes.
And the coach shows up.
Oh.
And was up on the track up top watching. And came down to me and said, you still interested in the tryout?
Oh.
I'd like to talk to you. And I went, Coach, I don't have anywhere near the confidence to try out for this team. And one of the things I kicked myself for, one of the reasons I went out to Indiana was try to play Indiana basketball. But his comment was enough for me to live on to say,
what do you say? Yeah.
Maybe I would have had a shot. I just don't have the ball handling skills for a guy who's 6'3". I never did. I was a center here. I'm not going to play a point guard.
Exactly.
Woody from our softball team was a shooting guard. in New Milford High School.
I mean,
he could shoot lights out.
I'm 5'7". That's the size of a point guard in SWC basketball.
Yeah. So anyway, that's a little trip down memory lane for college there. I had to bring that up with him. And you talked about the windows being covered.
Yeah.
I brought out the coolest thing in the world. I had dogs playing poker.
Velvet. Gotta love dogs playing poker.
That blocked the top half of our window, and we're like, man, we got to find another one. We got to find something for the bottom half. And my roommate came back one night with a. Actually, no, we found that dogs playing poker at a yard sale in Fort Wayne. And then he found, for some reason, I don't know where it came from, a double arrow sign, like a road sign, that blocked the bottom half of our window. So our room was like a box.
Couldn't see what was going there.
There was no air getting in. It had a good stink with a couple of teenage boys living in there.
Especially if you were one of them.
I was.
Gross.
Anyway.
Right. Yeah. All right. There you go.
Thanks, Liz.
I'm going to say good call, Liz, this time.
Yeah, good call, Liz.
Good
I like
call,
that.
Liz.
That was fun.
Good call. Good luck selling your house if that's still on the market.
Good luck. That's still there.
I guess.
Yeah. As far as I know.
I think that's I was driving by it this morning, actually, and I thought.
Really?
I was like, damn. That driveway is not going to be an easy sell.
It is not.
I didn't realize
down that driveway. That is a stiff drop down.
I have in wintertime.
It's great that it's right by the river. It's beautiful.
Sure.
The view that you have in your backyard.
You can buy a house down by the river.
Not even living in a van.
Not even living in.
But I was disappointed. I got around the corner to her. She has a garage down there, and I looked in the garage. Not one bungee cord. Not one. There's your callback, folks. There's your callback.
All right. Go watch City Slickers, everybody. That's all I got to say.
And speaking of throwback, here's my recommendation, my throwback for you. I started watching, since I downloaded the Peacock onto my my Apple TV. And I've been watching Hell's Kitchen.
I love Hell's Kitchen.
I do too.
It's one of my favorites.
There's nothing like a really ticked off Gordon Ramsay that just makes you laugh so hard. But him just honestly,
yes.
I know I got you with that one. You didn't think I was going to yell.
Well, you just probably broke a few speakers of our listeners.
It happens.
Yeah, because I'm not going to mix this down. I'm not going to edit
this. It's like
this.
First season. I broke speakers all the time.
Yeah. Fair enough.
It happens.
Yeah, I love it. Gordon Ramsay. I learned how to cook my lamb from his recipe.
His scrambled eggs?
Lamb chop. Yeah, I don't do his scrambled eggs.
Really?
I don't do his scrambled eggs.
I love the creme fraiche and the scrambled eggs.
See, I get the creme fraiche and the scrambled eggs, but he cooks it over the high heat.
And then off.
And then off and on and off and off and on and on. And it turns up to be too firm. Even with the creme fraiche, it's too firm. It's not creamy enough.
Oh, I disagree. Mine's been wonderful.
Not creamy enough.
You can adjust that. You can adjust that on your own to make it creamy. But I love it. I never had creme fraiche before I heard him talk about that.
No, the creme fraiche is it's. I mean, you can just use sour cream,
right?
If you want, it's the same thing.
It's as they say in Indiana, similar.
Similar, yeah. The I saw this one video about chefs making their scrambled eggs. And I'm trying to remember. There was one. Oh, I remember. Because I was just like, this is gonna suck. No one is going to want this, and it was Guy Fieri.
Really?
And he won the competition.
Wow.
Yeah. Like it was a competition. It was like one of those like Vice or one of those online content networks, and they were like, we're gonna try all these different recipes, and Guy Fieri's won it, and I was just like, wow, Guy Fieri. I think Guy Fieri is annoying as shit, but damn if he ain't a great philanthropist.
Sure.
Right? Sure. He does probably more charity stuff than most celebrities out there.
A ton of charity,
right?
Yeah.
But god damn is he annoying as shit.
Well, you're not far off. He's pretty obnoxious. But I would think someone who is
as obnoxious as me,
who's similar, you might appreciate.
I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't do the douchebaggery things that he does.
Okay,
like frosted tips and putting my sunglasses on the back of my head. That's just no. Come on, don't do that. Don't do that. If you pop your collar after the age of 17, you're just a douchebag. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I agree with that. I'll agree with that.
I'm sorry. It's just you can't.
See, we agree a lot today. This is a really weird show.
Yeah, we're agreeing all the way down memory lane.
Very strange. Yeah, it was a very memory lane show. I didn't expect to be talking about college today. I thought I'd just talk about your watch.
Well, there you go.
And flatulence. You don't have a button for that.
No,
for it. That's what you're looking for right now.
Oh man, do I have a poop button over here?
I have a fart app.
Oh, yeah, I think you've played it on the show before.
Have I? Yeah.
Yeah, there's another thing down memory lane.
Yeah, you were so upset about that because I kept going. I wouldn't stop.
No, I didn't mind that. It was the Ghost Hunter app that you had that day. That I was like, this is stupid. There's nothing happening here. There's nothing.
We should try that
there.
in the studio, see if it works.
Yeah.
All right. Not now, though.
We did, and it didn't work. In case you guys are all wondering what the hell we're talking about, go listen to some of our past shows.
And please share how much you love this show.
Oh, my God.
If you enjoy the show, tell some people.
6317 Myke Mo.
6317 Myke Mo.
That's Myke with a Y. I can't believe it's been 45 minutes, and that's the first time we've told people the number that they can call in.
Call us, call the show, leave a message like Liz did with something fun to talk about. We will either talk about your topic or make fun of you for a bad topic. One or the other.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
It's most likely going to be.
But tell your friends to listen to the show. It's free, fun entertainment. Sometimes funnier than others, but always a good time.
Yeah.
Yay! 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 Yay!
Canwood Valley Country Club, #1 place to go play golf, meet your friends, have something to eat. CanwoodValleyGolf.com.
Yay! Yay!
Well, we can't end it that way.
Yay!